Congratulations, Mr. President.
4 years ago, the Obama presidency started with high expectations for change in American politics. In his first 100 days in office, President Obama enjoyed huge approval ratings, hitting the mid to upper 60s. Yet despite the rescue of the auto industry, pulling the nation from the brink of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, and its successful pursuit of Osama bin Laden,
the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands.
the president's support slowly slipped away. Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney claimed he could balance the budget, avoid raising taxes, and provide additional billions of dollars for defense. He even appropriated Obama's slogan of change.
Will deliver a real recovery and real change.
But Democrats criticized Romney for flip-flopping and for not offering details on how he would accomplish his goals or even pay for them.
For him backing off the $5 trillion tax cut is really amazing. For someone who follows politics, that's really, an excruciating pivot for him to make.
In the end, this was one of the closest elections in history. But despite a slow start, when the ballots were finally counted, President Obama was re-elected, winning battleground states like Ohio, New Hampshire, Colorado, Iowa, and Nevada.
Tonight, in this election, you, the American people, reminded us that while our road has been hard, while our journey has been long, we have picked ourselves up. We have fought our way back. And we know in our hearts that for the United States of America, the best is yet to come.
Joining me to discuss this is David Webb, founder of Tea Party 365 and a conservative commentator. Also, we're joined by Zerlina Maxwell, who is a writer for the New York Daily News and a political analyst. And we're joined by Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who is professor of sociology at Georgetown University and a prolific author. Thank you all for being here. This has been an amazing week and a historic week. President Obama was re-elected president of the United States. David, tough week for you?
No, not really. Look, it's not. Look, our system has worked. Americans have spoken out. They've made their choice for the president. That's a peaceful transfer of power, something we do better than any other country in the world. Now it comes down to the policy. And Mark, you've known me a long time. It's what are the policies that are going to fix our economy, which is the foundation of this nation. I disagree with some of the president's approaches, but there are issues even in the Republican Party where they have caused some of the problems. And instead of going after solutions, we're having a fight in Washington.
We're going to talk about policy in a minute, but I want to talk to you first, Michael, because you were there. You were at the epicenter of this transfer of power. What was it like to be in Chicago?
It was exciting. I mean, people were talking about the enthusiasm gap. I said, look, I do a lot of renewal of vows as a minister. And the second time around, of course, it's different. You know more about him, you know about her, you're a little bit more jaded, you ain't getting flowers every day, but the bill's being paid, baby got shoes, and everybody good. And so that's the renewal of vows Obama. Look, I'm out here doing my thing, and it was tremendous, it was electric, and it was the understanding that, look, this is a real choice in America between two different options. One of which is selfish and redistributing wealth upward to those who are wealthy, and another one that is concerned about the poor and at least about the middle class. So in that sense, people felt that, hey, we ratified today the fundamental principles of democracy, not just giving it to Obama, but you got to admit, 17 presidents have been reelected. The first black man got reelected. That's extraordinary. That is extraordinary, but
I'm gonna let you jump in because I know you're gonna disagree with Michael on that, but there's something not just extraordinary, but unexpected about it. This summer, Zerlina, people said that this might not happen. For the last 2 years, people have said that the economy's too bad, there aren't enough jobs, all these things are happening, there's no way President Obama could be reelected under these circumstances. How did it happen?
I think that the main story that no one's talking about is the ground game. And I think that while the media was focused on polling and the unemployment rate, Barack Obama's field team, led by the amazing Jeremy Bird, who I hope is taking a nap right now, started 2 years ago. And in some of these battlegrounds have been there since 2007, even going back to the last election. And so they just set up shop in so many towns and cities and precincts across the country in battleground states, and they turned out the vote. They expanded the electorate by registering new voters, and the Obama campaign focused on doing that, and then expanding the electorate, and then turning out early voters. But the key is that Obama went into Tuesday ahead in the battleground states. And so Mitt Romney had to win by large margins, and he wasn't able to do that.
Just to make up for what happened.
Exactly.
So, David, there's the ground game that Zerlina mentioned, but there's also the pregame. You know, for the last few months, Mitt Romney has had some ups and downs on the campaign. One thing was this video that leaked out of him saying disparaging things about 47% of the American public. Did that ultimately damn him?
That didn't damn him, but that hurt him with those independents because of the way it was done. Look, it was more than a gaffe. It was used as a political weapon against him. Zerlina, however, hit a number of the key points about this. Ground game, when you look at the voting breakouts, Barack Obama was able to hold on to those that voted for him in 2008, and that was key to this, and in the battleground states was able to make up ground and take the lead. The Republican ground game wasn't as effective. People didn't vote in the end because they were working about who was getting money more, redistributing up or down, as Michael said. They were voting on who they thought would be better for their situation.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but the point is, when I said about redistributing wealth upward, they're talking about their interests. The elite were deeply invested. Business was wary about Obama in a re-election because they felt that Romney was more business friendly. But white people were not won by Obama in overwhelming numbers. In fact, Mitt Romney won the most white people ever not to have won the presidency because of the fact that Obama understands the demographic shifts in America and that the vast majority of people who are voting, the Latinos, the interests of all of those people that I mentioned were not reflected in very well in Mitt Romney. And then the disparagement of the white working class with the 47%, he made them symbolically black.
That wasn't a target at someone, and we actually at least have to be factual in that. He was talking to a group, he made a statement, he went out and apologized for it. The fact is talking about who wouldn't vote for him. Let's face it, the truth is each candidate has a group that won't vote for them. So if Barack Obama were to make a similar statement, let me finish my point though. If Barack Obama were to make a similar statement, I'd take it in the context, but I don't want to get caught in that. The right analysis here is who voted and why they voted for the president. You're right about Hispanics. They were about 10%. They're a growing bloc. They're an important bloc to play to. The country's majority white, 78% white when you look at the issues that I self-identify according to the Census Bureau. So they're going to be not as big a factor in the swings, whether it's Romney or Obama.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about what's going to happen now that to use Michael's analogy, now that the wedding is over. I want to know what the marriage is going to look like. Stay right there. We'll be back with more Our World with Black Enterprise.
Tea Party can't dominate. Let's talk. Here's my point. There were differences of opinion ideologically and politically before Obama. He's not the first Democrat. Bill Clinton was seen as the Hitler with wheels.